What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jethro Tull, and we're returning to Songs from the Wood, 1977. Thank you again to Vera. And the next song is Velvet Green. Obviously, both velvet and green are hues, they are colors, but of course, velvet is also a texture, it is a fabric, and green can not only be a place, but it is a characterization of something which is verdant, which is full of life and greenery. So I feel like there could be multiple meanings afoot here, and I do wonder whether there is something even more narrow or specific. So let's give it a listen and see what I can catch. This is Jethro Tull. The tune is Velvet Green, and it's from their Songs from the Wood album, 1977.
To be taking the hand, sitting, walking on velvet green, walking on velvet green, distant comes lovely, never again, with your legs in the air, loving, walking on velvet green. Won't you have company as they give you hands? Go down a velvet green with a countryman who's a young girl's fancy and an old lady's dream. Tell your mother that you walked all night on velvet green. One dusty half hour's ride up to the north. There lies your reputation, all that you would, where the scent of wild roses stands the velvet green. Tell your mother that you walked all night on velvet green. And the long grass flowers in the evening cool, and August red lights, maybe April's fool. But think not of them, my love, I'm tired of dance the scene. If we live the life, let's light to rise. On golden daffodils that gets a silver screen. It washes out the wild oat seed on velvet green. We're free as the lovers under the stars. The civilization is raging apart. And the ragged diamond breaks on your naked skies as you walk on cold and alone upon velvet green. Walking on velvet green, scars fine growing. Isn't it rare? But taking the air, singing, walking on velvet green. Walking on velvet green, distant clouds lovely, but never again. When you're left in the air, lying, walking on velvet green.
Wow. So another dynamic tune with some shifting rhythms and evolving sonics and chronology. Overall, I'd say there's a heavy high Middle Ages, like Renaissance feel to the tune, and yet there's also a bit of this like 70s art rock sound to different sections. And there's been a couple other reactions I did tonight where I've said like, oh, this reminds me a bit of the Roxy music I've heard. This one had sections that felt like that. The sections that were more like art rock had a bit of that sound, whereas again, a lot of it had this, you know, medieval sound to it. And indeed, the part of that was the flutes, and I think there's harpsichord. I'm not sure exactly what instrument that was, but that's my best guess. There's also, I think, some xylophone parts, and there's like a stringed instrument where I was thinking like, is that an acoustic guitar? Is it like a lute type instrument? I wasn't sure what that was either, but that again gave it a not only throwback feel, but you know, centuries throwback feel. But again, the rhythmic complexity, indeed, like some of the drumming here, like when it would kick in, I really enjoyed the rhythms, you know, syncopated, but it was like a complicated rhythm, but a very compelling one where it's like, I'm not even sure like how I would characterize it, and it's like a bit, again, non-standard in its rhythm, but very engaging and compelling. And then there were those flourishes which almost had like a marching drum sound to them, like a, you know, snare flourish. So yes, just a lot happening sonically. I'll admit, lyrically and thematically, I didn't get a clear picture of this one on a first listen, so I'm curious to hear. I mean, there were lines where it's like, okay, so Velvet Green is a surface and a place that someone is walking upon and across, but I feel like some of the meaning there was conceptual, and you know, there's a reference to like telling people that that's where you're going, that's what you're upon. So yeah, I'd have to hear it again and digest it, but obviously I welcome any insights people have. But yeah, a really artful and expressive tune sonically, and vocals I think fit, again, this kind of art rock meets historical meets majestic type of sound. So yeah, very fitting to the Sonics, even if I don't quite know what those vocals were saying, or at least not extensively on a first listen. So yeah, another top tune from these guys. I'm just really impressed by the creativity and dynamic sound that we've heard on the album, and I imagine this is something that will characterize their larger catalog based on what people have said. So yeah, looking forward to more. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.